You're tuned in to the Smart Love Podcast, where real stories, real lessons, and real love meet. This is your space to grow, heal, and elevate every part of your life, from love and relationships to success and wealth. Smart Love is a blueprint to happiness and becoming your best, most irresistible self. It's all about that smart love. Get you some. Today's topic, as you all know, is single happiness versus married misery. Now, let me just give you this disclaimer. I am all for healthy, loving, happy marriages. That's what Smart Love is about. We're pushing towards that, right? We want, Black love. We're trying to defeat the war on Black love. I'm all about Black love. But I do believe that being happy, living your best life, and really enjoying all the pleasures of being single until you get to that point of marriage. And even in marriage, I think you should be happy in marriage as well. But me, I am single, and I do understand the benefits of enjoying this single time and working on me, right? Um, there's so many people who, like, when I tell them I'm single, they're like, man, like, why are you single? Like, as if it's like a sickness, or like it must be something wrong with you. Like how could you possibly be single? And that's what I want to kind of like, let's defy some of those myths about single people, and that it's not that I can't get a man or I don't want a man or nothing like that. It's just that, while I am single, there are goals and things that I want to accomplish. There's things that I need to work on myself. There's a purpose that I have for my life that goes beyond being coupled up, right? And so until I am in that forever relationship, you best believe, baby, I'm enjoying being happily single. Okay. Um, I think that, oftentimes we just kind of, I know there's a lot of women that kind of just, they feel the pressure of society, like you got to get married, like you need, have children by this age, you got to do this, you got to do that. And I'm a firm believer in, like, you got to do what works best for you. And so that's what this whole topic is about, like, single happiness versus married misery. I've noticed that, like, there's just a growing trend of people who are staying in unhappy relationships just for the sake of being in a relationship. That's not healthy. And guess what? They're unhappy. There's a lot of people who are out here, in unhappy relationships because of the wrong reason. So we're gonna get into the discussion today. I got a few statistics here I can share with you. I'm gonna share some of my story. I got a special guest, Brace. He got some notes. Some notes. I don't know what he gonna say. He told me to make sure I check my sponsors because there ain't no telling what he gonna say. So super excited about that. And we want you all to join in on the conversation as well. So everyone that's watching right now, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, make sure you give me a hey, drop me a love this post, share it, get as many eyes on it as possible, because we're about to have some real life discussions. Like we getting real, raw, and uncut, because that's what Smart Love is all about. And it's all about us learning from each other's experiences. Okay. So let's see, who do we have here? Let me open up the comments. All right. Okay, I see we got a couple people on YouTube. Hello, who is watching from YouTube? Drop me a hey, love this post, like it, make sure you share it. Let me give y'all, look to see. Y'all not following directions. Let me show you. Okay. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Okay. So as I mentioned in today's episode, we're going to discuss, why it just seems that there's so many singles who are thriving while there's many married individuals who are trapped in unhappiness. Now, I'm not saying, there aren't any, happy marriages out there, because I'm sure there are. But it's just, we can look at the success rates of marriages. We can look at, the amount of people who are just, reporting that they're just unsatisfied. And we know that there's a growing trend of people who are unhappy. So let me put on my glasses so I can teach y'all a couple things. Okay. So my research shows that there's actually a lot of women who are choosing to be single for a variety of reasons. Okay. Number one, self fulfillment, choosing choosing self-fulfillment over relationships that don't meet their requirements or their standards. They feel a sense of purpose and direction in their lives, and they choose to prioritize self-care and discovery, and learning new things about themselves. I would say that I have done that. I have prioritized, working on myself, working, getting a closer connection with God, working on my physical health, mental health, working on goals and things like that. More freedoms and opportunities. Women have more time for passions and hobbies. They can focus on their career goals. That happens a lot. Some of the benefits of staying single is that, um, you actually have to, like I said, have time to focus on yourself, have time to build yourself up, and really that will help you to attract the right type of people who are in line with your goals. The more work you do on yourself, the better your relationships will be. Um, there's some statistics that I'll share as I'll get into the conversation, because I want to hear what you all have to say. Hey, okay, we got some comments. Who we got here? Okay, what's up, Frisco? Yes, Frisco is married and happy. That's what I'm talking about, sis. Yes, we need more of that, but it wasn't easy. Okay. What's up, Nip? What up, Nip Swag? You should be able to do that with your mate. Okay, yes, you should be able to work on yourself and your goals. But oftentimes, I'm going to speak from a woman's perspective specifically. Oftentimes, our needs and our wants and our goals take a backseat to our relationships. Oftentimes, we're pouring so much into others, we don't focus on ourselves. What's up, Papa Tax? I see you in the comments. Everyone, make sure you love and like this post and share it. But yeah, we're gonna get into some conversations, because I want to hear about these happy, healthy marriages out there. Well, we want to understand, like, what's the key to that. I want to hear people who are out here thriving, happy being single. And yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Okay, let me go ahead and bring my guest. I see he is ready. Got the good lighting. Come on through. What up, Bryce?
Hey, peace to you, dear. How you feeling?
I'm great. I am great. I am great. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
So what do you think about this topic? Is this something that you got a lot to say about? What you think about this?
I don't think happiness is real. I think
Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, whoa. Okay, off the bat. Please do
so
explain.
standardize what it means across the board. So, like for example, if I was to describe a house, you would assume it has a roof, doors, walls, windows, a basement, maybe. But when
Hmm.
you describe happiness, no two people are going to give you the same answer, but they're
Right.
using each other's happiness as a standard to compare theirs to. So it's either
Mm,
completely not real and illusory, or it's something that can't be quantified. And
okay.
the closest that I know, like for men don't experience happiness. We experience accomplishment.
Mm.
So it's like if we can't accomplish something, we kind of have no dog in the fight. I'm not sure
Oh, okay.
for women though, but I know like with us is we don't get happy. We get the right to bear responsibility and prove ourselves competent. And that's
Mm.
the other thing. So like yeah, looking for happiness itself is a trap. I mean, it's one of your rights as an American. You have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, but you don't have the right to get happiness.
Mm.
Well,
You
yeah,
don't what? Okay, so let's back up. So You say that men do not experience happiness. Are you saying that what they consider happiness is more tied to less than a feeling or emotion, but more to satisfaction of accomplishments? Because
Yes.
I don't know. Okay.
So
Okay.
like for example, a great moment in men's life, if a man is responsible, it's the first time they hold their firstborn son. It's the closest he's gonna get to feeling like God in his lifetime.
Mm.
First time a woman says I love you and she means it. Like these are things that they don't happen often enough for men where we can go, I have a standard of other things that went well to compare it to. We go, in a life of hell, it was good to experience this. So for women, it's a little different, you know, especially like if you're younger and beautiful, uh, you have the world dying to tempt you with all the things that will destroy you. So then it's up to you to just not be destroyed by it. But like for men, the world's just trying to destroy us regardless, whether we
Mm.
things or not. So it's a little different, you know. And so it's a lot easier, I believe, for a younger woman to be single and happy because of how investments work, not necessarily because she's happy, you know?
Mm. Okay.
And for that, that kind of comes down to I have this rule, I call it the 10-person rule. So, like, as a man, if you're 20 and you date 10 women, by the time you're 30, you split your money 10 ways. As a woman, if you dated 10 men have built you. So you should be
What?
what
What?
10 men have built you. You know, women aren't, even the women who say that men aren't good, most of the men they deal with, I'll put it to you this way. If they don't like men, you should always go, well, let me see your last 5 Cash App transactions. Let me see if the people you hate are sending you money. And the reason is because if your life is funded by something, of course, it's going to be easier to pursue happiness because you don't have to pursue pain to get happiness. But then the issue becomes you're addicted to happiness. And that's
Mm.
not realistic at all long term.
Okay. So when I like me specifically, because I don't I don't necessarily feel like I fit into what you're describing. But when I talk about being happy and being single, I'm talking about like the joys of like I have happy healthy relationships with friends, family. I'm able to do the things that I love to do, that I enjoy doing, whether it's traveling, whether it's experiencing new things, whether it's going to different countries, whether it's just time with my family and friends, accomplishments professionally, accomplishing my goals, um, being able to have peace, and like to have and to be able to love and have people love on me. So things like that is what I quantify. Like for me, like that's what I mean is I'm happy. So I don't feel like any of that is funded by any man in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
If it's self-sustained, then that's built on accomplishment, and that's a great thing to have.
okay.
That's not the usual cakewalk out here these days. You know,
Okay.
since so we kind of do this thing every I want to say 49 years. We switch the system that we use in the world, and it does something really horrible, and we struggle to recover. But then we make a better slash worse system. So like
Okay.
we went from like the nuclear family, which was built off of factories, but that came from the families that was like sharecroppers, because like you had a reason to stick together because y'all had to eat together. Then as
Right.
man feeds us, so we have to stick together so the man will feed us. And now as soon as it was like the women are like, oh, we can feed ourselves, y'all was like, we out. The problem is with no supportive relationships in that capacity, there's no patriotism. There's no men who are going to keep trying. You
Mm.
know? And I know that doesn't seem like it matters, but look at the Ukraine. This is a country that's at war, and all the women are gone. So they're just fighting for dirt. And the women there in other countries living their absolute best lives while these dudes are getting blown up for soil. So like even if they could recover, what are they recovering to? And before that becomes a problem here for American men, we need to sit and look at it. Like, I meant to ask you while you were talking,
Mhm.
what part of an intimate relationship do you feel would have prevented any of the rest of your happinesses?
What part of an intimate relationship would prevent any of my happiness? I don't feel like anything would prevent it, but I will say that because I what we were talking about, like being happy being single versus being like in a toxic relationship, right? So that's what I'm comparing it to. So a toxic relationship would would keep me from sometimes like being able to accomplish some of my goals. It would not allow me to focus on the things that I need to focus on myself as far as like my own self-care. um it just like the joy that I experience of being loved and loved on by the people around me and the people I surround myself with. Oftentimes we are in a toxic relationship, those things are not present. So it's things like that. Now I will say that like a happy, healthy, I'm not even gonna say happy, I'll take the word happy out of it. A healthy relationship can actually um help, like can actually be a positive thing. Like, so everything that I've mentioned, like if I had a healthy intimate partner to enjoy all those things with, that's even better. But yeah, I basically was describing the opposite of being like happy single and being in a toxic relationship.
But you can be in a toxic relationship with yourself and no one be around and still have all the
Oh, I ain't disagreeing.
comes with single people, especially if they're single because they aren't willing to do the work to play well with others.
Oh,
So
okay.
so we should consider that for a moment. Because like with me, uh I am single because somewhere in there this ain't working right. Now I know that because my type, I'm attracted to ratchet baby mamas and they're the worst. And I be praying to God, like, God, send me
You
some.
know what? I used to be attracted to hood niggas, so I know what you're talking about.
Exactly. So usually we be,
Attracted baby daddies.
yeah, usually we suffer because our type are the only people we let disrespect us. And
Mm,
so we have to move past that. And that's why I'm like the toxic relationship with yourself. It's like, what about a person's looks can make one person so morally apprehensible, but you let them get away with all this stuff? And then there's this other person that's like, I'm gonna make you wait. I don't have a reason, but I'm gonna do it. And it's
mm,
like, and we all do these things. And
yeah.
so like I think in terms of single happiness versus toxic relationships, with relationships, one of the first things we should ask ourselves is, am I actually the good guy in this, or am I just the loudest, selfish person?
Oh.
Because well,
Whoa.
sometimes people watch other people suffer and then be like, they didn't
Okay.
have time for my emotional needs. It's like, that's like if someone was on fire and you like, you're not gonna help me flip this burger. Like it's a messed up thing, but people do it. Especially those who are seen as the strong ones. They tend to be the ones who are the most emotionally neglected. And
Mm,
so it's like, okay, well, how do we fix that before we attempt to be with others? Because we kind of have to do the same for ourselves,
there we
but
go.
not in like a pigeonholed way, not like a like I can only love me, but I'm willing to put on my oxygen mask so I can help the rest of you. Type
That
thing.
yes, yes. I think that is like one of the key benefits and important parts of like being single is like you said, like because there's probably a lot of work that you need to work on yourself. And oftentimes when you're in a relationship, even though you should work on yourself in a relationship, but most of us don't, especially women. Like we tend to we won't put our oxygen masks on first. Like we'll put our own needs and things like that to the back burner and focus on, some women, I'll say some women like focus on their relationship, right? I'm focusing on my man. Like what does he need? Like why, what, my kids, what do my kids need? So when I say like being, single and happy, like gives you the opportunity to fix those things. Like I said, I took a break from dating because I didn't like, at first I was like, I don't like what I'm attracting. But what I realized is I was entertained. Like it wasn't like I was attracting, I probably was attracting, some of what I wanted and what I needed as well, but I was entertaining the wrong thing and I didn't know why. Like, why do I keep, like, why do these married men keep approaching me? Like, why do these like hood niggas keep approaching me? Like, why do, you know what I'm saying? These niggas who ain't shit keep approaching me. But it was like, this is who I was trying to entertain. But go ahead, Brace.
I just want to ask you a question about that.
Okay.
Do you consider yourself boring?
No.
Because I only deal with ratchet girls because I'm boring. Like, I personally have no weird way to look at it. But, like, I would be like, my house is quiet. It's peaceful. It's Christian. There's nothing going on.
Okay.
Don't ratchet my way. It's like putting out a fire for like 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, what is it about me that wants to keep putting these fires out? So it's like,
Mm.
because like on one hand, you're like, yes, I do want to be prepared for my wife by the time we meet each other. At the same time, that is not how God does things. He likes introducing unprepared people to other unprepared people to see if they will try and make a life raft out of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In our modern world, since dating for the most part kind of switched to a prostitution business model, it's going to be a lot harder to find like long-term spouses, especially if people are chasing short-term happiness. Because you have to ask yourself, how many dopamine fixes is enough before you're tired of not caring about the person you see in the morning? Or like how many strangers is enough before you're like, all right, too many people see me naked. And the thing is, we're not thinking about these things because of survival mode.
Yes.
The full belief that while the economy is like this, while we are encouraged to feel that we're in survival mode, we will be at our absolute worst and our loudest.
Mm.
I realized when I started getting my shit together, I wasn't getting nobody's attention. It's going to sound super crazy, but like a couple years ago, I was homeless. And while I was homeless, I had 5 girls on the roster and none of them was homeless. As soon as I got an apartment and started paying my bills on time, no one talked to me no more. So it's like, were they looking for a problematic person? And I fit that description. And then when I wasn't problematic, you see what I'm saying? So it's like the issue, I believe, and I think this is across the board, male and female. I think we should stop dating for entertainment.
Oh.
Straight up. I think that's it. I think that's the solution.
Okay. So dating for entertainment, as in like, okay, let's go out, let's have a good time. Like you're talking about, like we need to be more strategic. Like, okay,
Well, how many
we getting married? Like,
well, how many stories have you heard where it's like, oh, we went out for drinks, had a wild time. Yep. Ugh. You know what I'm saying? It's like it never seems to be any real depth to it. Like it'll be like a lot of surface stuff and then too much involvement. And so I realized that I have this thing I call the stun flash. So if I'm sure there's okay, so for the ladies watching here that live in Atlanta, y'all fall for something called stun flash all the time. Stun flash is when a broke nigga looks like he has about $2,000 extra dollars, but what he's managed to do is throw $700 of resources at you really quickly in an elaborate way to make it look like he's rich. Because when money goes out, legs go up, but then he disappears. So it's a constant strategy, but it's like the issue is stun flash works because no one's thinking long term. Like if a woman was like, okay, well, I'm going out with this dude. If he's going to maintain the energy that we have, let's say on average, a person in America, let's say they make $120 a day, maybe. Let's say 80 they bring home after taxes. So first days really shouldn't be more than $80. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to look at it like that, but you can maintain a daily pace in a relationship and it be realistic. You cannot maintain that if you just throwing thousands of dollars, especially as somebody, and it's the craziest part to me, because I remember this one girl was like, if you love me, you'll pay my rent. And I looked in the face and I grabbed her hands and I was like, I don't know your middle name. So we're all going through it. And and the need to be entertained. Like once I was like, I like the idea of ratchet baby mamas because they're fun till they're not. You know what I'm saying? But it's like once I was like, okay, that's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Not for something long term. It's like, you know, it doesn't matter if she has children. What matters is who she sees herself becoming and whether or not she
Mm-hmm.
get there. And yeah, long term vision. That's gonna be
Long-term vision. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this MDTV Digital says you get tired of shooting Wilt Chamberlain numbers. Being single is a time to get yourself together, but growth is important. You must stand on the red flags. I'm asking if you have life insurance.
big facts. And I'm glad that, because like, all right, bro, look here. So the thing is with the red flags, every red flag in someone else is also something you do that you don't like.
Ooh.
So like, for example, when you like such and such don't care about me, what you mean to say is neither of us is really taking the effort to communicate about anything beyond the surface.
Mm.
Because if you got something to really talk to somebody about, it'll get deep eventually. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? If you got anything in common, the commonality will show itself. But for the modern world, we're not doing that. Look, this is a city of wild butt cheeks and there's drugs everywhere. And for the part, I don't want to say it in a bad way, but the people I would say 20 to 45, 50, the
Mm-hmm.
only reason they're not drug addicts is they're not admitting it. Like, come on. If you go to the club every weekend, you party every weekend, like come on. Like, and that's another thing too. So then the alcohol will mess you up. Like, there's so many kids who exist just because people were drunk and didn't want to buy drugs. That that's terrifying, right? Like, so, and I'm
Oh, okay.
no, that
Okay, you just threw a lot of this. Okay. No, I mean, absolutely. Like what you're describing is spot on for Atlanta, right? And I don't know, it's probably other places like this too. Sometimes I feel like Atlanta is unique. But I think that there's like this growing trend of women, like, and I feel like and men too. I think it's like a trend on TikTok where it's like I think they call it like boy sober or relationship sober, where basically like they're taking a break from dating. Like they feel like, you know what, there's too much toxicity in the dating apps and, you know, going out and doing this. And I'm taking a break from dating and I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to focus on, like, you know, again, like I said, like that self growth, that self development, so that you can recognize, number one, like your own problems that you are in these relationships, like, because it's not always everyone else. Sometimes these relationships, like you said, it's like they're putting up a mirror to something in you that needs to be worked on. But that's like, you know, again, like if you just going from relationship to relationship and you just dating for entertainment, as you say, you know, not really looking for purpose, and you never even get to the question of whether or not the person has life insurance, because it's, you know, you're on to the next because you got caught by the flash of the next person. So
that's
that
that.
is happening more times than not.
And what's crazy is I know this sounds wild, but I actually believe there's a female equivalent of stun flash. I've only seen it once. You know,
Okay.
it's like, okay, so the thing is, because of how dating works, dating is technically a hunter's game, right? So
Mhm.
you have to have an environment to hunt in, you have to have a prey, you have to have bait, and you have to have a reason for the bait to be there. Now, the issue in modern dating is women are still the prey, but they don't want to act like it. So I want you to think of like
Mhm.
hunting, where if the deer walked up to the gun, like it's not sportsman at all. Like you're just like, okay, I didn't have to hunt. So what am I getting? And so in the process of perceived equality, which I have no idea why a woman would want to be equal with a man. God cursed the earth for men to have to basically be put through hell here just to get basic stuff. Why would anyone want that? It's a bad trade-off. You guys you got a good deal going. You can be pretty for as long as you want. You can be selfish to about 26. um, You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, no, look, 26 years to only care about you is a lot if you think about the span of a human life. That's almost a third of how long you'll be alive. So you get a whole third to just focus on what matters to you exclusively.
Mm.
And it's like, that's not a bad deal. And I know there's some people that are like, well, I'll wait till I'm married. But I don't think people think about disqualifiers.
Okay, hold on. I think I froze. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but
Okay, I'm frozen. Okay, I can hear you too. Go ahead and keep
okay.
talking.
So the issue then becomes disqualifiers. So like for example, I had a thing for this girl. She was like 28. And then she was like, well, we'll see where it goes. But I'm not a spin the block nigga. Once you say no, I'm gone. I'm a blessing from God. So it's like, if you thought you could do better than what God sent you, have fun. It's not going to work, but have fun. And so what winds up happening is people will come back and you're like, well, you don't qualify no more.
Mm.
Because the game changed. I've changed. I've grown. You've grown separately. So it's like the issue with women is I can't say the issue. What I'll say is the concern for the dating world is the use of the combination of beauty, youth, and sexual exclusivity.
Mm.
That the combination of those to build a relationship isn't being used at all. Because and look, y'all got a way higher temptation than we do. If a dude shows you your inbox on a dating app, you would laugh. Do you know men only get, well, women basically only click on 5% of men. So, you there? Ooh, those froze. All right, well, here she is there. So dating apps, women only click on 5% of men. So that means 95% of men get ignored, whereas the women get about a 50-50 engagement. So you'll see a woman with like 200 messages in her inbox and a dude with like 2. So let's see. Is it coming big?
I'm back. I'm so sorry.
No, you good. I had to resist the black urge to hang up. Right?
No, you were good. No, because they can still hear you. So that's why I was like, keep talking.
Okay. But
Okay.
like, yeah, it's a percentage thing. So it's like you'll see, and the best example I can always give is this. You will never hear about a group of young men who are in their 20s going to Miami in a boat full of old women, like, have sex with us and we'll pay your bills. Because all the men would go. We would all go in a second. We're not going to pretend we're not. We're aware of the temptations y'all have.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is, men only care about the temptations women have when they care about the woman. So it's like most of the time when people are like, well, such and such, I have this belief. Whenever you have a problem with someone, don't say people, don't say girls, don't say men, say that person's name, because it's usually very specific. It's usually it may not be a one-off, but and it's not accusatory, but it's like for me, if I was like this girl, she hurt me, so girls are all the same. It's too generic. And it shows defeatism. Like, we're not defeated, we're learning. You know what I mean? So like, it has to be done well.
I agree. Okay. See, switching roles is heavy. Even the grown ones over 40 were out here saying fuck nigga free. We in a different space for real.
Okay, so here's what happened with
that. That's my song though.
All right. So here's what happened with that. Y'all picked y'all men drunk. Look, the American dating culture. Let's keep it a stack. Back when you remember the Nuck If You Buck G Unit era? Like, a lot of people wouldn't know it because look at me. I am a sweetie pie. But I was off Incredible Hulk fighting in the club all the time. All the time. And the thing is, like, back when that was the era before the internet soaked in and tricked women into seeing the club as a place to be worshipped, it was a place where people came together to see if they really had any chemistries. However, chemistry was always substituted with alcohol. Real chemistry is whether or not you like each other when you're sober. Alcohol is just alcohol. Yeah. So what happened is basically everyone picked their mates drunk, and now they're like, I can do bad all by myself. It's like, you was doing bad then because y'all was both drunk. It's like, people don't be realizing how much money alcohol is in a relationship, keeping two people fucked up for months at a time. That's like $700 a month as a secret bill that you don't even notice is a bill. And so it's like, yeah, you would
Well,
be.
I feel like men have like a trick off budget, as I call it. Like that's something that they work toward. They like, okay, like I'm going out this weekend. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna set aside a good, you know what I'm saying, stat. Like that's just for tricking off. That's for like getting a section. That's for like buying drinks. That's for, you know, taking a woman out. Like y'all have a trick off budget. Women, we don't have a trick off budget. Like we and, and we don't need one.
That's why I'm like, don't enter the world of man. It's a trap. Look, okay, so one of the things, like for me, right? And this is gonna sound,
Yeah.
one of the red flags I usually notice online, especially dating apps, you'll see a girl in her profile, it'll be like 6 or 7 different vacation photos.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't be like, oh, she a hoe. I just think about things as basic math. I'm like, this costs money. Who's funding this lifestyle? And so, like, you know, when women are like, yeah, you know, let's go out this weekend. It's like, what you mean to say is, why don't you pay for me to go out? Men don't have fun at clubs. There is no fun in paying $700 for a maybe. There's no fun, and there is no fun in almost getting shot because she want to talk to a dude who came to the club with a peacock and a chain on.
So why are there so many men that want to do it every weekend? Like, I mean, every week, like Whiskey Mistress, I feel like it's about a good 100 men that go there every single weekend.
Well, how many?
Like trying to meet new women, like, or like what's happening? Like,
So the issue with that is simple. Hunting grounds. You know, like for example, you know, if a man was like, I want to look for a wife, where do you think he would go?
church.
Right.
Okay.
So
Just outside. We everywhere. You don't have to go a specific place.
wives ain't everywhere. The Bible is very specific about it. It's like women that's outside all the time with like ankle jewelry on and nose piercings. The Bible says they will ruin your life. Don't chase them. Now, most men are going to because you're drunk and outside. It's the pride of life. It's the fun of life. We're supposed to do it. Like, you know, turn up, nigga. But at the same time, the bill will come due. And for men, the bill is always the same. You go, I really thought she was special. What you said out loud was, I thought she was special. Now, if we look at the math was like, I spent $1,200 on a $60 purchase. And that's where it gets us. So like, you will see a lot of men going out, but as men start to get better and better at math and inflation rises, because by the time milk reaches $6 a gallon, you're going to start seeing a lot of dudes not willing to do nothing. Watch it. Because they can go out now because they have a budget. And in the case of a lot of younger men, they have roommates, so their bills are split.
Okay.
And so, and you know what's crazy? I believe that the roommate thing messed up how people's natural growth arcs go. Because like, okay, and this is going to be weird, and hopefully it's not off topic, but just give me a second to work this one out. So like if, so say you dating a dude and y'all like late 20s, early 30s, right? And you have your own place, but he's got a roommate. Now, you don't mind dating him because you like, as long as we're saving, honey, right? But he can't save because you're the other bill that's not being spent at the house. It doesn't look like it, but it's like okay, so like say the rent's $1,600 and he's splitting that with someone else. And so like utilities, let's put the bills at about $1,200 per person, right? Now, if he had their own place to himself, it might be about $2,400-$2,500. He might not be in such a luxury to be like, hey, let me go waste my money with some random girl.
Okay.
It's like, but you know, while he's got the roommate, he's like, hey, let's turn up. But the issue then becomes you don't know how to get along with her in any other room in the house but your bedroom. Y'all not gonna be out on the couch just hanging out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it creates like y'all are freaks in the bedroom, but you're not debutantes in the living room. You're not co-cooks in the kitchen, and the bathroom's gross. So it's like, so it'll become a problem over time. And sometimes people will go, well, you should marry them anyway. And maybe you should have. But with long-term relationships, you have to ask yourself, if this was the only thing God sent me here to do, did I actually do this right?
Mm.
You are responsible for another person. Like, people don't look at, but like, even if you were dating someone, the fact that you can trust them enough to fall asleep and wake up without your head cut off, to wake up with all the money you went to sleep with, to wake up without an extra tattoo, or to wake up without your fingerprints being involved in something, that's a lot. We give a lot of trust to people just by going,
Go to
"Why?"
sleep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we don't factor in any of that stuff because we do it too casually,
Mm.
you know? Because, like, me personally, at this point in history, I look at it like it would be foolish to overextend for a woman who you don't really know. You know, so I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I'm in bed by 8 and I'm home by 11:30. I'm not finna be over there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who she knows. I don't know if they think I have more money than I have. Last time I checked in Atlanta, a kidney still sells for $75,000. Closing your eyes around people is dead. And so it's like, and so with all of that going on, it's like, how do we make the most of it?
Wait, for $75,000?
Yeah,
What?
nothing
We
either.
only need one. Like, where can I get? Where can I sell one of mine? No, okay, but okay. So let me ask you this.
Keep them.
No, because you like so what you have described is more of the unhealthy single life, right?
There is no
And compared to the the toxic like relationships, which is like that's what the topic is. Like we're comparing like people who stay in toxic marriages, relationships versus people who are choosing to be single and are thriving.
I
And I
am
think there's a statistic that says that actually unmarried, childless women are the happiest sector.
until 9 p.m. or until they go to a baby shower, or until they sister had kids with a smile on her face, or until they are around someone else who completed that path of life. Because humans
Mm,
are still very much comparative, and women are way more comparative. Because for y'all, you have to be a part of the group to survive. Men get kicked out the group all the time, like
mhm.
own wolf for real. You know what I'm saying? But it's like all that shit get thrown out the window at 9 p.m. for men and women. Like all the dudes who like, yeah, you know me, I'm single. As soon as the sun go down, you be like, damn, why don't nobody give a fuck about me? And it hits everybody the same, but nobody's honest. All these people who's like, everyone who's like, I'm willingly single needs to stop fucking lying. There's a
I
person.
wait. I'm not lying, but
No, it's like there's a person you liked and they said no, and so you just have
no,
there.
no. I said no. I said no. I said this doesn't work for me. But when I say I'm single, that doesn't mean I'm not dating. That doesn't mean that I don't have anybody I could call at 9 p.m. if I wanted to. That doesn't mean that I'm not being entertained. But what it does
Oh no,
what?
I'm listening.
No, no, and I'm saying I'm one of those that until they in Walmart by themselves. No, be quiet. That's
Pump that one up, bro. No, no, no. When they in Target and they see the other couples, yeah.
okay, but it doesn't mean that I don't want a partner. Like I absolutely do. Like I want somebody to build with. I want somebody to grow with. I want a companion. I want somebody that could be my best friend. But what I'm not gonna do is settle for a relationship where my needs aren't getting met. I'm unhappy. Um, I'm no longer growing. I'm no longer on my path or living out my purpose to be in a relationship. That's what I'm not going to do. So that's what I say when I say I am happily single and I am choosing to be. Now
What was
I'm divorced. Like I was married for 8 years and I've been divorced for Monty, how old is Sadia? I've been divorced for 10 years.
how do you not know?
No, I asked. No, this is the funny story is my ex-husband had a child the day we signed our divorce papers. So I always like that's how I keep up with how long we've been divorced. She's 9? Oh, 9 years.
That's drastic. And I would I wish I could purchase the book rights. We'll talk about.
Oh, it's oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, because
And also the 40 dates in 30 nights. Okay. Because when I got back in the dating scene, I was outside. Okay. I'm going on as many dates as possible. It's a numbers game. I got to get out here and meet my next husband. And it wasn't until I actually took a step back and, like I said, focused on building myself, my personal growth, did I start to understand that my happiness was not going to come from another person. It was not going to come from another relationship, and that I needed to show up in my next relationship whole, healed, and ready to build.
that
So,
whole ready to build shit is bullshit. I'm
no,
not
it's not.
saying, I'm saying because what is how will you know when you're whole? You've never seen it. And so because of that, it's an impossible goal to reach. Remember I
Okay.
was about so we do this thing here, especially in America. When we don't want to fix a problem, we'll just start wildly swinging on the concept, like the war on drugs, right? It's a concept. You can't win it because the true war to fight was for relationships. And so it's like with, people like, I remember I had my outside phase. It don't really seem like it, but I went through a whole era where I was telling my homeboys, I was like, these girls don't give a shit about me, bro. And he was like, that's not true. And so I posted on my blog that I was committing myself to abstinence. And I had sex with 3 different girls that night because
Mm.
that's how little they cared about me. I wasn't wrong. But then once I realized I could use that for some real evil, I started overdoing it. And then I looked around and was like, what am I doing? What was the whole point of this? And it's like, I feel like everyone does that in a different way, because people don't really be going out to hoe out. They go out to try and get revenge on someone that technically doesn't exist. Or they try and prove a point to someone who didn't give a fuck where they'd still be there.
Mm.
So it's like a lot of it, we be throwing ourselves away. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't at my best when I was hoeing. I'm not. Actually, I'm definitely not ashamed of it. It was hilarious. There was one time I got a girl strictly off the strength of I burst in tears in front of the club. And everybody was like, bro, that's not going to work. And this girl walks up. She's like, are you okay? I was like, well, I don't know why she left. There was no she. I just wanted to see if the strategy would work.
Oh, you one of those?
I was one of those. That's why I'm saying, like,
Okay.
all of that, it all works well because
Mhm.
everyone's doing it for the story. When you live in an adventure mode, you think everything's adventure. You know what I mean? Because like I've been in shootouts where you like this would have never happened if I was minding my business because I'm not a shootout type of person. You know what I'm saying? Like think about like Atlanta clubs. Most of the people going there, office clerks, receptionists. Where'd the gun come from? So it's like the thing is like when you wind up in those types of things just kind of go left. And so I was like, okay, well, what does it mean to me? It's like when I'm old, or even if we don't make it to be old, should the world end, am I holding the hand of someone who meant to be there with me?
Mm.
And that's where I feel like we have this disconnect, and plus it doesn't help that the modern version of marriage is technically a way to just give money to women. It's not really a way to secure
What?
safety. It's not. It's not. I want you to know
To
because
give money to women.
you like statistics, right?
I do. I love them.
The statistics for how most women become millionaires in America. It's divorce. It's not business. It's divorce.
Okay.
And so the men are scared. So and what's crazy is now you got the broke dudes like I can't give her my $8. This all I girls that's I'm worth far more than $8. And this is where we are in the world. So it's like
Right. I didn't even go.
it's drastic,
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. Okay, wait, hold on. Y'all ain't gonna be going in on the single by choice women. Okay, I hate to hear single by choice. No, you single because most mess up their youth. They were out playing around for years and most missed the one who mattered.
That's
Okay.
that's big facts. See,
Not me. I ain't one of those. So I don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead. But how is that fact? So you were out.
here's how
So
this
you
goes.
you messed up your young years, and now what you don't qualify?
Well,
What you
yeah,
mean?
because no, because any hey, bro, look, I feel where you're coming from because I'm good at math too. So I'm gonna give this to you in math terms, so that way the other people who are seeing it are like, oh shit. So here's how this goes: if a woman becomes sexually active at 15, on average, let's say she has one partner per season. By the time she's 30, that means 60 men are like, nah, I'm good. And you don't look at it like that, but that was 60 potential lovers who were like, no. And in the process of chasing those lovers, I know how God and the devil work. And the way God and the devil work is they both put people just close enough to you where neither seems too good to be true or too good to be bad. And so what
Mm.
happens is women are surrounded by men who are like, you don't have to do this. I will take care of you right now. And she'd be like, yeah, but he's 6'2", so good luck with whatever you're working on. And they keep playing. And what happens is that's why I was like the whole spin the block thing is dead. You know, like I turned 40 this year. I have a six-pack again. My skin is clearing up. The women who are turning 40 this year, that is not the case. So it's like, and again, it's like, so, and you add another decade to that. So you add another decade, one lover per season. That's 100 potential lovers by the time she's 40. That's 100 men who have said, no, I can do better. That's 100 men who have went,
Who's that? Are you wait? What? But what makes you feel? Well, of course, you're saying this because you're speaking from the male perspective. But what makes you say that it's the men that said no and not the women that said no?
oh,
Like
because men pick the relationship. Women just pick when we have sex. Men pick the status of the relationship every single time. Because, for example, if you go to propose to a man right now, you get on one knee to marry him, he may say yes. You will never be a wife. And I know that sounds like a weird way to look at it, but that wouldn't be what a wife would do. That's something the husband would have did. So it's like men always pick the relationship circumstance.
hmm.
Now, women are like, I'll let this dude have sex. I'll let this dude have sex. But remember, most of these decisions are being made drunk while on birth control. Birth control. No, birth control changes the smell of men that women find attractive. And then alcohol makes all your bad decisions sound like good decisions. So if
Mm.
you're outside drunk and you're on birth control, you're going to pick the worst man you can find. And you're doing this through your youth. The dude's not wrong. Hey, bro, your maths, I'm with you. It's a 60 plus number. The best time to catch a woman realistically is 27.
He said. He said. What he said. A lot of people mess up their young years playing or either attracting the wrong person. So now they're older and the guys they could have had miss they miss out on him.
Well, because okay, so this is another thing too. No one knows how to really properly read potential. We're not supposed to. We're And the issue with dating is I don't think we were ever supposed to be educated guessers. I think we were always supposed to not know. You know, in an older time, in a town that would have had like 100 people, your spouse would have been picked for you by the parents that thought these two people make the most sense together.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of it. Ain't no I'm a pick, because historically speaking, women are just bad pickers in general. And the reason is decision fatigue. I want you to consider this for a moment. If you
I,
don't iron your clothes for the week on Sunday, Monday morning, when you get up to put on an outfit, you have to look through your whole closet and pick something. Then you got to look through and figure out which makeup goes with it. Then by the time you get in the car, all your decision making is done for Monday. Did you know that? You can only make 20 good decisions a day as a person. Like, really? Like, if we being honest about it. So it's like the decision making is fucking shot by 9 a.m. And then you add drinking, birth control, bad friends, boredom. It's a wrap.
Shay said women turn down relationships or leave relationships all the time. Single by choice is a real thing, although there are some good points being made.
That's not true.
Said, I need somebody to. You can't say it's not true. Like if there are real examples,
but they aren't. Because if there's one thing I've learned from watching women lie to their therapist, is you will tell whatever version of the story makes you look good in public. So we're not going to get clean data. And we need clean data to analyze these things. So
Okay.
I will give you clean data. I didn't make good decisions with the type of woman I was trying to date because I picked pussy over purpose every time.
Mm-hmm.
I own it. So the thing is, I realized the mistakes it's caused me. I realized the places I've made errors, and I'm fortunate enough to have lived through it. In the case of when women are like they're single by choice, no, you're not. There's someone you like and they don't like you back. It's the same with men. If a man's like he's single by choice, what he means to say is hundreds of women have said no, and he's just outside. Why can't
Why
we just be
are
honest
women trying
about
to you all care about image mostly?
it? Yeah. Well, obviously, and the reason is because men are seduced by their eyes and women are seduced by their ears. So, which is crazy that that's the way things go, and yet women trust the appearance of things, knowing that they can alter their appearance. So weird.
Mm.
But like, yeah, what you usually see in that case is so a woman will make herself look as youthful, as slender, or as voluptuous as possible, depending on her target audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
I might put on sunglasses. I might not even brush this. You see how this got this horrible slant on it? I might leave it like that. The thing is, like, because I would rather show up with what I am on merit and fail than show up with what I'm not and fail. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Mm.
So,
Have you ever been married?
no, I've been engaged twice, and they asked me both times.
What?
Again, young women, bad decisions, dick game, boredom. It's a basic formula. A formula.
Fuck that part. Okay.
And what's crazy is the one girl, like she was making like 150 a year too when I was in college. So I had like no money. And she, she's like, yeah, we need, she's like, I never wanted something more in my life. I'm like, should have been raised by your daddy. But like,
Okay, we about to get you off the single women because we gonna agree to disagree. But like, so tell me about that these men and women that stay in bad relationships, in bad marriages.
oh,
What is that all about?
in the case of the men, it's because he could never get his mom to love him when he was young. In the case of the woman, it's because her father wasn't there and they both like rematches.
Okay, so you said the men have mommy issues. Wow.
Your mother is, as a man, I'm sorry, as a boy, you don't see your mother the way you see your father. You see, if your father's in the picture, you see your father as like a living ancestral god giant that just provides for the house and does all this other stuff, But your mother is a mix between a food source and your first love interest.
Mm.
Because the first woman you have to learn to get along with is your mother.
Mhm.
So what happens is if she's in a good mindset, if she's not a dark mother in terms of like psychology or not a malignant narcissist, you may wind up being a balanced man over time. But if she isn't, let's say especially like in our community, let's say you got a single mom and how did dude put it? And too many niggas know your mama. So let's say you have that, and it's like, so the son is seeing this, and the son will see all these dudes treating his mom however.
Mm.
And because he can't fix her trauma, he'll keep recreating that relationship.
Mm.
And in the case of the woman, if she didn't know who her father was, the absence of it, she feels the absence with grandiosity. She never feels the absence with how a person might actually be. Because like it's weird to think that a person is missing from our lives because they're off being successful instead of just being mediocre somewhere else. Like people never, like especially like when you're a kid, you don't stop to go, well, maybe they just couldn't work this out. You go, no, it had to be something. It had to be me. And the thing is, all these things are internalized. And so when you grow up and you start dating, the first person that triggers you, like how your dad triggered your mom or how your mom triggered your father, you just start feeding off it because you already know it intrinsically.
Mm.
And so first thing you got to do is, as an adult man, I would recommend this to every man. Say out loud, I'm not attracted to my mother. I know how weird it sounds to even just in case you are attracted to your mother. Get it out of the system, because you don't want to recreate that, because your mother put some dude through hell, and you know the dude she put through hell. Don't recreate it. As for the women, the issue tends to be that women only listen to men they find attractive in the first place, and then they find the worst men attractive. And if we looking at the internet, if we looking at dating profiles now, dating profiles show that women are picking 5% of the men, so they're ignoring 95% of the men. If we look at physical dating, in the Black community, if 20% of the men are 80% of the dads, that means Black women are ignoring 4 out of 5 Black men to complain about the remaining man.
Mm.
Break these cycles very easily. Just go, hey, that didn't work for them. I'm not recreating it.
Mm-hmm.
Real simple. And I feel like all of us need to do that on some level, because I would never want the relationships my parents had. They don't they had. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like we gotta break it while we still young enough to see it as something before it's your permanent personality. Because I feel like committed evil, or if someone's been through enough wrong, they'll start to justify it on both sides.
Wait, say that one more time.
So if someone commits enough evil, or they've been through enough evil, they're going to justify it on both sides.
Mm.
So it's like a person that's been in like an abusive relationship for years. At first, they're like, I didn't deserve this. But after like the 9th or 10th fist fight, or the 9th or 10th time cleaning their wounds up, they be like, maybe this is what God wants for me, which is a trick of the devil. But,
Mm.
and the thing is, like, so what happens is over time, they condition themselves to be a willing recipient of an ass beating.
Mm.
Like a part of us deep down, it's like, do you really want the rematch? Like, because that person's not going to, it's impossible to love somebody once y'all fighting. It is. You just try to draw blood. And there's a rule. I know, like for men, the rule is like, because dudes can be cool, dudes can fight. But if we live under the same roof and we fight, one of us got to lead, because you can't have 2 tigers on a mountain. And we're in a day and age now where women are like, we're equal, even though, again, don't try and be equal with men. It's cursed. They'll be like, well,
Nah, we don't want that. We don't want
y'all
that.
don't.
We doing what we have to survive. Like
No,
it's not like, trust me, it's
no,
not competition.
no, it's not even that steep. In all honesty, I'll be like super real with you. The marketing right now, because the music is telling women that basically the borderline prostitution is okay, because sexual liberation told them they'll be fine, because birth control offered them an out, because abortion offered them an out, because their family will help if they fuck up. There's a lot of safety nets, so they take a lot more dumber risks. Me as a man, it's like, if I get her pregnant, I'm screwed, especially if she don't like me. And that's it. Like I can't talk her into nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I don't even have access to Wolf's Bane if I wanted. So so you can't even like get out of that type of stuff. But it's like, because of the nature of safety nets, the decision making is bad. So when people be like, oh, I'm just doing what I got to do, it's like, no, you're not. There's 10 other options. Like I knew a girl that was a straight up prostitute, and she was like, I'm just doing what I got to do to survive. I was like, bullshit. I saw you fix a car. You could be a mechanic if you wanted. This is just fun. You're having fun. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so we need to all be honest about that, and we need to hold each other accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I wouldn't want to be a man that's bad for the Black community anyway, if I could avoid it. But I also wouldn't know if no one told me. In the case of like how we deal with women, we really don't tell them what they're doing wrong, because it might also hurt our chances of having sex. And that's, that's going to hurt society in like 10 years. So,
Okay, Goat said most women don't see good women. They see and fall for the wolf in sheep's clothing, the dude that looks good.
yeah, the stun flash.
The stun flash.
Yeah, because you just throw a bunch of money at her while her decision making's down. So like the best combination, and it's gonna sound rough, but the best combination to catch a girl slipping, especially in Atlanta, is if she's been out drinking with her friends and she treat her nose. Because cocaine turns all your bad feelings into good feelings, and alcohol turns off your inhibitions. So she will literally be with the dumbest person she could find, because she feels like it has no consequences.
Wow.
Yeah. You see, we all see it all the time. We just don't know that's what we see it. But,
Females don't see us equal.
well, no, they see us as an inferior class of servants, but that's also because they don't understand the way the world works. I've had a woman tell me that, she doesn't need a man while I was carrying her groceries. So I just sat them on the ground and was like, and also, don't use your doorknob because men make doorknobs. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Okay,
so
but what in your experience makes you feel this way?
who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I just told you an experience that happened.
That happened in real life?
That happened outside this apartment complex. I was like, are you for real? Like, I was helping her for like an hour or two. Like, and I could have been doing anything else. But like I said, I serve the Most High God. So the way I see it is like, if God sends me somewhere, I'm there to help someone else. Because I could have been minding my damn business in the house. So if I'm outside, I'm in fireman mode. But the thing is, not every fire you put out is the fire you think it is. So like I remember it was one time I was hanging out with this girl and she was like, all men are the same. And then I was like, well, show me the type of men you like. And she showed me and I was like, they're not the same. You're a hoe. And she was like, excuse me. And I was like, let me explain it. So being a hoe is a matter of superposition. Okay. So check this. Imagine the world is structured like a nightclub. And up here you have your tens. And here you have 987. And here you have 6. And here you have 5, 4, 3, 2. And you have the ones and zeros by the front entrance, right? So a woman can be a 4 with makeup, she's a 7, but because she's only a 4, she can only meet a man whose stun flashes back down to a 4. He'll look like a 7, and she looks like a 7, but eventually they'll both hit the 4 mark. And so what'll happen is when you see it in the club, remember, the 4s are jumping up to be 7s, the 3s are jumping up to be 6s, the 5s are jumping up to be 8s, and all of them are trying to holler at these dudes that are 8s and 9s. There is no 10 man. Once a man becomes a 10, he becomes one with God, and he becomes a 1, and you don't even notice him anymore. So it's like, yeah. So what happens is in their pursuit of this 8 or 9, they stand in line. And so even though you don't see it as standing in line, think about it. If a bunch of people are standing in line for your attention, they are your hoes. Straight up. It's like whether or not they were hoes, they decided to be a hoe once they stood in line. Because like,
are we rating based on what? We talking about looks, money? Like, what are we talking about?
Oh, we're literally talking about superposition. So those numbers that we use to rate people are actually qualifiers, right? But no one has a specific rubric for what they mean. But if I was to say a man is a 7, you in your mind already know what a 7 looks like to you, right? Okay. So I'm using that as a superposition. So and like I said, what'll happen is, so you have a bunch of girls who are really 3, 4s, and 5s that look like 6, 7s, and 8s that are being played out by 8 or 9 man, while there's a dude who's like a 5 or a 6, like, hey, you don't have to do this. But she's like, but no one was standing in line to talk to you, so why am I talking to you?
Okay.
And so he'll eventually come up, and when he comes up, he's gonna be like, you know what? They are hoes. I was just on the wrong side of the line. And so that's why women keep losing good men, because you gotta remember, more times going by, if he's not distracted by women, he's only getting his money up. He's only becoming better. And so what'll happen is, by the time he becomes a really viable option, he may be burnt out of the game. So like, and it doesn't work the same for women, unfortunately. Now there are cases where women get second, third, and fourth win. Like, I ain't gonna lie, crazy shit I seen. My mom, when she turned 60, she got sick and lost all her weight. Now she looks like how she looked when she was 40, and she ain't had to do none of the fucking work. Like, yeah, Christmas miracle type shit. But it's like, usually that doesn't happen. Usually what happens is years of mistreatment, years of people not speaking good on your soul, years of bills not being paid on time, years of meals that were cooked but not cooked with love. All these things start to add up and kind of kill us. So, we have to be around people that aren't trying to kill us. Black men are viewed as disposable. Of course, Black men are viewed as disposable. We're not responsible for our own narrative. I would like you to consider for a moment that the people who decided which black men women find attractive are in fact Jewish record executives.
Preach.
So, and the reason I'm saying that is this: the real threat in America has never been black violence. It's always been black love. It's always been a solid black family.
Yeah.
J. Edgar Hoover, the head of the FBI, said the black family was the biggest threat to the government and went out of his way to destroy the black family during that time.
Yeah.
And so what happens when you reach a point in history where, like, I want you to think about any one of us can name 5 rappers. Can you name 2 black male senators? 3 black male doctors? Just in general. The thing is, we don't, our images has been shot because we weren't responsible for our own public image. And we didn't realize it till it was too late. And it became too late around, when did the song Just Hold On, We're Going Home come out? That year. It was around the time of Just Hold On, We're Going Home. It was around that time.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was around the time when Joe Biden said, if you ain't gonna vote for me, you're not black. That was when I realized black people have no control of their social image. Because that's like such a weird thing for an old racist to say in the first place. You know, so like we don't control that image. The images we see on TV, even BET is owned by a family of white people. So
Right.
they're not showing black men that are responsible. They're not showing black men that have upward trajectory. They're not showing anyone you could look up to long term. They only show you crash outs because it's good for ratings. So we are viewed as disposable. And that's why it's on you yourself to make yourself indispensable. 48 Laws of Power says make them depend on you in a way where no one else can meet that need. And that's how we as black men have to become powerful.
I love it. I love it. Okay. What what time? Okay. We're actually overtime. That's okay. So, because I wish I had you in on the conversation when we did this whole series on the war on Black love. But from your perspective, what do we have to do to win this war on Black love, like, and bring the Black family back together? What do
Oh,
the men need to do, and what do the women need to do?
oh, that's easy. Don't. It was never a war.
Mm.
So it's like you're trying to fight other people to love you. How does that make sense? Look, Jesus put it best: love you one another as you love yourself. And so the thing is, like, I can't marry every black woman, but I can be good to you, even though we just met. So I can be good to, my neighbors. I can be good to black men. I can practice love in a social capacity because even though I may not know you, even though I may not know your middle name, you matter to someone, and that should be enough.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not practicing that. You know what I'm saying? It starts with self-respect. So the truth is, in our culture, if we practice self-respect, the rest of it will line up. Self-love is a trick. It's something the devil set up for the end of time, where people think if you focus on you, it'll fix everything. But again, that's like if your house is on fire and you decide, you know what, I'm just going to put on a wet shirt. You're not fixing anything that happened, So it's like we have to practice self-respect, because self-respect won't let you twerk outside with your ass cheeks out because your father cares. Self-respect won't let you catch a drug charge for one of your homies because you're better than that. Self-respect won't let you get caught in something you would be ashamed of because you respect yourself. And as long as we're willing to, so for the women, in their case, we have to go back to practicing shame. Women should be ashamed to do certain things. They should be disgusted by some of their own behaviors. Because I know I'm disgusted by some male behavior. And the difference is we call each other on it, or we don't fuck with them dudes at all. We don't go, well, she just figuring it out. We go, hey, he's a liability and a danger to the rest of us.
Mm.
So he's got to change or he's got to go. You know, for men and women interacting, if the pursuit wasn't financial gain, you would find most interactions to be very pleasant. But if you're only talking to men you want free shit from, and they're only talking to you to have sex, both of you are wrong.
Mm.
Yeah. And so that's the other thing. We're not there's no humanity in how we date. So we shouldn't do it like that. We shouldn't. We should be like, hey, this is my long-term goal. I ain't gonna lie, I want to do this with you like Friday night. What's up? But at the same time, it's like, what are we gonna be in 5 years, 10 years? Is that a factor? And as for the practice of love itself, it is forgiving, giving, and sacrifice. In the combination of those three and no other combination. If you do 2 out of 3 of those, you're gonna wind up with something terrible. Like forgiving and giving without sacrifice, women call it tricking. But eventually they hate it because they know he doesn't care that he's giving them stuff. I know it's like a weird way to look at it, but it's like when you knew a man had to struggle against the white man to come bring you something you like, it means a little more than if he like, I can just throw cash at your problems, whatever. Like you might not have no problems, but you'll feel the emptiness of it. And it's like if he's forgiving and he sacrifices, but he's not giving, that's poverty. Because you ain't getting nothing. If he's giving and sacrificing, but not forgiving, that's resentment. And they're all very close to what looks like love on the surface. And so you got to fine tune the process all the time with other people. You know, so it's like we're not practicing that, and we should. We definitely should. You know?
But where did this narrative come from that women are looking for some financial gain from men that we get into relationships with? Like, because to me, like saying that you want a man as a provider is less about I want to get his money and more about the security, the covering. It's like, yes, like money does provide provisions, but it's not like we're trying to take something from you. Like for a woman like me, it's about building. So in order for us to build, you got to have your own, and you got to be like, I can't have to take up the slack for you financially. So yes, I do want you to come to the table with your own, but I don't understand like where this narrative came that I want yours and mine too. No, I want us to pull our resources together to build.
Yeah.
Like I don't know those women.
I would place that in a small percentile because
why do y'all say that? Like why? Well, what makes you feel that way? That like, why do you feel that that's a small percentile? Because I know a lot of women who think like that.
Yeah, but we know more women who don't think like that.
Do you know more women, or is it a psyop? Is that what the media is pushing? That's what.
Oh no. Look,
you personally know
yes.
more women that think like that than think like how I think.
Yes. And the reason I'm saying is because, all right, so like when I first got my place, I was going to start a sex cult. I don't even put that out there, but that was actually what I was going to do. Like I had a couple girls that was already staying here, and what happened though was one of them did something stupid the very first night, and I was like, man, I am not going to get to enjoy this at all, because I realized in there they're people. I can't just use them. You know, part of me being on earth is things have to be better when I leave. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay. I started talking to them about the stuff they think. And they're like, we should do a podcast. And I was like, you know what? I love y'all enough to never record what you think. I was like, we're going to get you to a point where you got something worth saying that other women are better off hearing before we let you just talking in public. And the thing is, like, they was wilding. I heard some of the dumbest nonsense. I swear to God, bro. Like, you'll be sitting there like, wow, this person can vote and is responsible for another person. And then you find out there's very cutthroat, because you got to remember the inbox differences to men. Even a pro football player has less inbox messages than a fat woman.
What?
Yeah, look, you need to look up the stats, because it's like, especially if like they know she fucking, like, nah, it's a wrap. There'll be more men trying to get with her than there are women trying to get with that pro player. Okay. And so like regular dudes are basically just kind of caught in the mix of it. Like we're like, wow, I would love to have a woman that makes me give up on these ideologies that women aren't the worst that I think they are. Uh-huh. But you also live in Atlanta. You've been outside. You've seen it. You look, I've seen women start twerking on cars like you gotta have some money, and you're like, yo, this is a synagogue. Why are y'all acting like that outside of this house of worship? You know what I'm saying? Like, because of the whole environment to it. You know, like this city here is big on sun flash. It's a trap. Everyone's trying to impress people they don't give a fuck about. And so that changes the whole dating pool in a very bad way.
It does.
Like, you might not even like the rich dude. You might just not want this girl to have him. And, you know, like this is a common thing. You know, so it's like the practice. Like I said, it needs to go back to forgiving, giving, and sacrifice. And as for women, I know this sounds crazy, but if a woman's ever to find a husband, she should go out with the mindset of how much of me can I give away without debasing myself.
Mm.
Yep.
Give away or compromise on. Like, let's be clear.
Well, okay, so to be clear, compromise is a very interesting word that people use to kind of diss the fact that they were willing to pick someone else over what they thought was right in the moment. You know, but we're not compromisers. Like no man that's worth having is going to compromise with you. He may let you have your way on occasion, but he's final say. He serves God. That's it. It's like if he has to do what God said, that's it. Like it's like you can't be like, well, I want it's like too bad. What you gonna do? Beef with God over it? Like it's like, you know, and that's another thing too. We've gotten to a point in our lives where we expect to hear no less from our spouses or the people we're dating than we do from God. And that's weird. Like, it's super weird. God say no all the time. And for good reason. So it's like, so why do we have it where it's like it'll be two people, and as soon as you hear no from me, you're like, well, one nigga won't do, another one will. It's like, so then a person would throw away. Yeah, but then a person would throw away. Okay, I did it as a math breakdown because I was trying to figure out what I was looking at. So, you know, like people that get mad at cheaters, it's buyer's remorse. Like, have you ever bought something and hated that you bought it? So check this. So say I'm with a girl for like 5 years. It's just hypothetical. The average cost of romance is about, let's say, $13,000 a year. So that puts us at about $65,000 just for romance, not counting helping her with bills or whatever. And then some dude smashes off a Chick-fil-A in a 3.5. I just spent like $90,000 on a $50 purchase. I can't go back to pretending it's worth $90,000. I know too much now. You know, so it's like and it's kind of the same thing with the dating pool. Because we'll be like, yeah, you know, I took this girl wine and dined her. The other dude didn't have to do none of that. And the thing is, like, so then dudes be like, well, if he didn't have to do it, why do I have to do it? And then girls be like, well, that's not, it's like, no, it's completely fair. You know, I had a homegirl, she was like, you should fly me out to another country. I was like, if I can't take you serious, I'm not taking you anywhere.
I love that. I love that lie. I love that.
Yeah. It's like,
I can't take you serious.
no, like, embarrass me somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Then we got to sit back. We got to fly back on the plane looking at each other awkward and shit. No. So like the amount of give, you know, and it's partially because the women in the previous generation, that was the first generation where they was doing the whole welfare single mom thing. So they was really like, I don't need a man around. They definitely did because they was making the worst decisions possible. But we're 2-3 generations deep of that now. So girls think for the most part they got to automate it. But I would like to tell every woman here, all that I don't need a man shit breaks down hard at 29. It builds up again at 31. It breaks down again at 36. It falls apart completely at 39, works again at 42. Then you hit menopause and you ain't got no choice.
Okay, let's put this whole myth to rest, because I don't, again, I can only speak from my experiences. So some of the stuff, like, you be like, yeah, most women don't think like that. But I don't believe that I don't need a man. I definitely want one. So like I'm not down with that culture of I don't need a man.
Well, what are you willing to give away?
Oh gosh, I guess it's gonna depend on what he asks. I don't know. Like, what do you mean? What am I willing to give away?
So the
Okay,
Bible,
I guess I'm willing to sacrifice being the head of household. Like, I don't know
that's
shit.
not a sacrifice. That's like getting demoted for more pay. Try again.
I don't want to be the head of household. Like,
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to say. Like everything that I'm doing that that a man feels like, that's something that that would be my place. I would love to have a man to do those things, but they still have to be done even though I don't have that man. I was not going to stay in a unhappy marriage for the sake of having a man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm at the place that I am, not because I wasn't willing to compromise or I wasn't willing to make sacrifices, because absolutely I did. Like, I'm that ride or die wife. Like, I'm a dude, like I'm a cook, I'm a clean, I'm, a woman in the streets, a freak in the sheet, like all the things that I
Well,
thought.
you can't say you
Huh?
can't say our wife because you got a divorce. It's literally till death do us part, and you decided no on that.
Yeah,
So that's not ride or die. Don't get
I
me
was ride or die. I said I was.
wrong. Ride or die, you'd either still be riding or one of y'all be dead.
I'll put it like this: we're not married, but I still ride.
I'm not even going to look into what that meant. I'm, like,
I still like, no, I took myself out of the position of wife where like I said, I felt like I made a lot of sacrifices for that relationship and got none in return. Um, but that doesn't mean that I'm not bitter about it. I don't like I'm not I've gotten over I'll say I've healed from that relationship enough to not carry the weight of that to my next relationship. Um, I am willing to compromise on some things, but at the same time, like, what am I supposed to do? Sit down and like just wait and just like,
yeah,
no, I'm living, I'm
no,
thriving, I'm building. What?
no, you're actually supposed to. Okay, so this is all right. It's in Hebrews. It was like, don't be fooled by the world, women. You were made for men. So you can chase all the stuff the world has to offer, but I'd like you to consider this for a moment. And I'd like any of the women that are watching this to consider this for a moment. Do you know what you'll really have to give up when you get married is your entire past? And the reason you'll have to give it up is because at this point in history, let's say you've been on 10 vacations with men that aren't your husband. You can never show him those pictures. You can't even act like you went there, in all honesty, in case he wants to go. And the worst part is because you've built up these whole lives with other people and you live this secret thing. Either the secret will explode and ruin your life, or you have to give it up entirely. So that's actually what women will have to give up. Also,
Our past.
yes, because
Oh,
yeah,
check.
hmm?
It's gone. All right, let's go. What else?
Just okay, the other one. You have to give up the entertainment of other men.
Gone.
Will because sexual exclusivity, in all honesty, there's only three things a woman can really offer a man that matter. And that's sexual exclusivity, love if she actually means it, and not embarrassing me when I'm not around. That's literally all that like our list, the list men has is so short. When women can't meet the list, we're like, she just wasn't trying. That was only three things. And you can ask any of the men who are watching whether or not that's it. Because like if you love us and you mean it, you're not gonna disrespect us, you're not gonna play us. If you won't embarrass us when we're not around, I can go be a patriot. I can go fight for this country because I know my wife is mine. If she's practicing sexual exclusivity, those kids are mine. I'll never have to worry about if I'm raising the neighbor's kid. I'll never have that feeling. And the thing is, it's like women don't value those things. And the reason in our culture they don't value them is because the woman is always the mother.
The
The
woman's
dad ain't always the dad. The woman's always the mother. Like, you know, the kid's yours. So, of course, you're like, well, it's like, yeah, but it might not be the dude's. And then it's like, and some people be like, well, he should step up and be responsible for another man. It's like, as soon as you say it out loud, it's like, no, that's wrong. He should be able to sue her, you know? And no, because I've been thinking about that too. It's like, if dating keeps being this transactional, men should be allowed to sue for lost wages, lemon laws,
Living law.
yes, lemon law. No, because like, if you go and just set up shop in someone else's life in your life, I should be able to sue you for the amount of money I spent on that and get it back. Emotional.
Wait, hold on, we got a question for you. Do you think men were made for women?
No. God made us for him.
And he made us for y'all. That's what
Yeah.
that's your thing. Okay.
It's in a chronological order, and there's no way out of it. God made man to tend to the earth. Then he goes, man shouldn't be alone. And he makes a woman. And that's it. And the thing is, like, the Bible goes out its way to tell us, it's like, this the reason a man will leave his parents' house. It's the reason a man does anything is for his wife. Mm-hmm. And it's like, any man you know, somewhere deep down in there, he's looking for that her out there. And ironically enough, even gay dudes, there's a woman out there he'll stop being gay for. We're wired to take care of women. Like, y'all don't get it. Like, it's like, we're the caretakers of the world. And women
the world, Craig.
And so, and women were sent to care for us because we actually know how to take care of everything but ourselves. And so, like,
do you believe that we provide like wisdom? Like, there are intangible things that women provide that because men are like, well, we provide all the, all the tangible things, but like, I've heard a man say like, well, what value does a woman bring? Like, what does she provide that's tangible?
He may have that rough, but I get what he's saying. To be clear, my list stays the same. Sexual exclusivity, not embarrassing me when I'm not around, and loving me like you actually mean it. That's the only things a woman can provide to a man he gives a shit about. The rest of it is stuff you think we cared about, but we might not have asked. And the reason I say that is because, like, have you ever got a gift from somebody and they really wanted you to enjoy the gift, but you didn't ask for it?
Oh, put that comment down. Wait, say that again.
Have you ever got a gift from someone and they want you to enjoy it, but you didn't ask for it?
Yeah.
That's how most stuff is in relationships for men. Like, a girl, but hey, we should do such stuff. We're like, I don't care about none of that. we're like, I just wanted a meal that someone cooked like they like me. It's like, I wanted her to ride this dick like it's the only one on earth. And when I'm not around, I want her to be like, man, I wonder where my dick is. Is he in the house? That's all we want. The rest of it is stuff that women make up for other women. And then they ruin their own relationships. I'm like, girl, see, you didn't need them in the first place.
Well, no, I heard it like men, like you all want us to provide peace. You want to have peace when you come home.
Is internal. Peace is internal. No woman can provide peace.
Oh, y'all hear that, man? It's not our job.
Woman in Atlanta. How you gonna provide me peace and you on drugs? Fact of the matter is,
who are these women? Like, what is the street got that bad?
Why are you acting? Okay, to be clear, it's America, and I'm about to put this like straight game. In 2008, when the housing crisis happened, drugs propped up the economy. That's the only reason they're still in America, and that didn't suddenly go away. And drugs propped up the housing market. What do most of the girls who come here want to be? Real estate agents. You gotta start looking at the correlations. And so what happens is you wind up where it's like I said, they're not paying for drugs. When you're paying for drugs, you're an addict because you might steal a TV. But when you're not paying for drugs, you're just a party animal. And that's one of the weird things about language. Because it's like, think about it. She going out every weekend. It's not like she's spending her money on drinks. Not like she's spending her money on weed or, you know what I'm saying? She just, and if she is spending her money, what'll happen is eventually the math comes due. Because to be clear, if you're not selling drugs are really expensive. Like if you smoke a dub of weed a day, that's $600 at the end of the month if you didn't just buy an ounce for the $200. And you wouldn't realize it because like, oh, it's $20. A pack of cigarettes, it's $10 here and there. $10 times 30 days, that's $300. A bottle of Let's say a bottle of Bel Air, $30 champagne. If you was to do that for 30 days, that's $900. All that adds up real quick. So if you got a bunch of vices,
Yeah.
nah, you cooked. And so it's like, and if you got a bunch of vices, you're looking at like $1,100-$1,200 a month just in party expenses. We ain't got your bills, your insurances. We ain't got your food, upkeep, student loans. We ain't covering none of that. We just on partying. So it's like that's why I was like, when you asked me, I was like, nah, it's like this city has a huge drug problem. And
Well, I
it's
don't consider weed drugs.
no one who smokes weed does. But yeah,
He
look.
said my mom, wait, hold on. Ghost said my mom has been keeping my dad's house peaceful for years. Well, has your dad been in these streets?
That's a good question.
He said you living in a bubble. He talking shit. Well,
Well,
like so the thing is, like what you're describing is what a lot of men describe, and then I'm just always like, I don't hear enough men talking about, even if it's a smaller percentage, but I don't hear enough men talking about like the women who are the total opposite of this, right? The women who that want to grow and build with you, the women who are looking for partnerships, the women who, yes, we financially, we're not looking for a man to take up the slack for, why are you looking like there's not enough talk about us, is what I'm saying.
it's not enough us to talk about. You don't hear conversation.
Really?
Yeah, you don't hear
You're
conversation.
in Atlanta though. Like
No, you don't hear conversations about the growing panda population. Look,
panda.
endangered species is an endangered species, okay? And we don't talk about endangered species. We talk about invasive species. And right now, hoes is an invasive species. They set up shop inside what used to be traditional womandom and started dragging regular women down.
Okay, well, it's the same on the men's side. Like there's more of the hold'ems. I don't know what you call the gigolo. Like it's more of those men who are trying to take advantage of women who have resources than those that are. How you gonna shake your head? Because you
Y'all are ignoring 4 out of 5 of us. You're just talking about the same dude. Remember, we talked about this. It was like there's a percentage of men that women just straight up ignore, and the percentage is like 90%. So the men y'all are complaining about are the 10% of men that we warned y'all about.
okay, so you said y'all are focusing on the 90%, which is the ratchet one, and the 10% that you're not talking about, those are the good ones. You don't need to talk about those. It's not enough of them. And
One,
we are focusing on the 5% of the bullshit ass niggas, and the 90% of the good men we're ignoring.
well, the thing is, you wouldn't even know if those men are good or bad. You just ignore them. Like it's like they haven't had a chance to prove themselves effectively in either direction. It's like, but the ones y'all pick, women have already proven to you they were pieces of shit before you got there. And I know that sounds like a weird way to look at it, but I always think about the girl who's dumb enough to be the 4th baby mama. Like 3 women proved to you this shit ain't gonna work. They proved it, and you was like, "Oh, I'm next, goddamn it!" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and the thing is, it's like for the dudes, men pray for a specific type of woman. And the worst part of all is the men who pray for it, they don't even know if they qualify for it. Everyone is catfishing everybody. Facts. This hairline is horrible, bro. I don't even know what this look like in real life. Like, look, let me tell you. So, and I've been thinking about that too. One of the issues I used to have, like I said, I used to have girls that live here and they be talking hella shit, and I'd be like, wash your face and take off your wig and say that. It's like, because my rule is always, if I look better than you with what God gave me, you can't talk to me a certain way. It's super fair because no, it's fair because it's like, these are perfect eyebrows. I've never had to mess with them.
Okay.
Anyone who's had to pluck their eyebrows, I already don't trust it because God gave you eyebrows to express your emotions. So you changed how your emotions look to other people. Hard pass. And, so it's like, so my rule has always been, okay, well, If you can wash your face and without fake hair have the same opinion about me that you just said, then maybe it's true. And I know that sounds horrible, but I want you to think about that. You've been disrespected by women who look like shit and then had a glow up, and you was like, nah, because yesterday you would have never said that. You know what I'm saying? Women. So I know, like, when it happens to me, I'm like, go wash your face. Like, and the cat
Take the wig off, did say that shit.
and the catfishing thing ain't gonna go away because of insecurity combined with marketplace value.
Mm.
So it's like one of the things for black women that doesn't get said a lot was I'm not sure black women think they qualify for good black men in the first place.
Oh, you better speak on that.
Well, think about it like this. If you say men ain't shit, let's say 10 times a month, you've already conditioned your universe to only attract ain't shit men. If you
Fact.
don't respect men, you're only going to wind up having sex with men you already didn't respect.
Mm.
Because everything's the conditioning. And what's y'all music saying? These niggas ain't shit. Give me your money. Give me your money. Give me your money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's changed what they're attracting. And it's the same with the dudes. Like even with me, like, God forgive me. Yeah, I actually believe that women are worth preserving because they're an extension of us, made for us. Like, it's not gonna get better than that. Like, but you got to think of the mind of the world where they've tricked some black woman out there into thinking she's too good for a man that looks like her. It's a wild place. So
there's some black men out there who think he's too good for women that look like him as well.
I'm
Look
too
like
good.
his brother.
I'm too good for the ratchets, but that's after years of failing in ratchetness, not after like
I'm talking about the ones that go for the like outside our race.
Oh, well, okay. There's nothing wrong with dating outside of your race. The issue is deifying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like one of the things that you would see sometimes is you'll see like a black girl date a white dude, and she's got all these grandiose things to say about him. Like, yeah, I'm so glad I tried this. And I'm like, I wonder if Sally Hemings said anything like this when Thomas Jefferson was around. And the reason is because they oversell it. Every relationship is a mess. You're never going to meet two people that just fluidly get along all the time. It's
Right.
unnatural. It's not even a realistic concept to propose, let alone be a thing. And so you find yourself with everyone's got these dreams of this thing that's God is protecting them from their own dream. I know that sounds crazy, but I be thinking like even with me, like I said, I love me a ratchet baby mama because I'm a dumbass, bro. But God,
and I love a nigga that needs some fixing. Like he ain't got some emotional issues. He ain't been done wrong.
And you know how hard it is about this in real life, bro. Like this ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and so like a lot of times I'm like, God, why can't I have her? He like, I'm just gonna show you what you think you're missing, and then I'd be like, oh, I like. Like, I won't ask for nothing stupid again for like a week. But it's like and I think that's like the same thing with women. Like a lot of times they'll be like, okay, well, I want a man who's a millionaire. It's like, okay, well, he's definitely going to require a lot of things from a woman. And one of the things women, I feel like they don't understand is the men who have money that didn't come from money. They went through that whole era where women saw them as invisible. Remember, I was like the superposition. So like while a man's moving from like a 5 to become like a 6 or 7 or 8, all the women around him are pretty sure they can do better. And then when he's at 8 and they flock and he's like, I remember when you didn't like me. So now you're a plaything when you could have been a wife thing. So it's like the superposition is what changes everything. And you can't ask new car prices if you're
Previously on.
or leased or damaged or have a dent or water damage.
Or high mileage.
Well, actually, what's crazy about that? Everybody loves driving a classic. You might even restore it. I think what it is like you said, it's the demand of the high price. Because like This always sounded crazy to me too. Like, especially like when you're young, you know, you'll meet a girl, she's like 27, she has certain rules. But if you meet her like 30, 31, and she's got like a kid, the price goes up by the price of the child.
Mm.
You know, so it's like a child on average in America costs about 30,000 per year plus 7% inflation over 18 years. And so if a girl's like, well, I need a man to take care of me and satisfy me, it's like, cool. That actually only cost 78.5. So
Mm.
you want me to pay 108.5, you know what I'm saying, to take care of you and the kid. And I'm sorry, it's 30 per kid. And then you got to remember the package deal you get loses value per baby daddy. Because it's bad enough that it's like, I don't have any kids. So it's like asking me to take care of another man's kids is a straight up insult. And I know this is an unpopular opinion, but if he don't want to take care of the kid, why should I? It's his. That would be like, would you take better care of your neighbor's house than yours? No. So like, and it's not something people look at like that, but it's like, okay, so if a woman does show up with kids, my rule was always, as long as you can afford to take care of your children, I'll take care of you. That was always the rule, because if they're not my children, that's an unfair burden to put on me. Plus, I don't want to be fighting with some dude like, hey, well, you taught my son. It's like, I taught your son math because someone should. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know, it'd be a lot. Let's see, classic.
That's a good one. I'm thinking some of these single moms need to humble themselves.
It's not a.
Hold on. No, you ain't gonna go in on a single mom.
Hey, bro, look, it's not a humility issue. It's a marketing issue. So because they're not aware of the cost of it, remember, women don't pay for dates. Women aren't romantic. We're romantic. We're the ones who buy roses. We're the ones who schedule events. We're the ones who have to take her somewhere just for some coochie.
I'll do something on your birthday and special occasions.
Wow. One day out of the year. That's like my whole point. So it's like, so the thing is, but we have to do this once, twice a week, a minimum of 3 times a month. Minimum. So it's like, so the men are always going to be more romantic. And the truth is, women don't respect anything they don't pay for. Why you think the phrase "you got to pay for this pimping" work? And why you think pimps get more respect than regular men? Because the woman will go pay him to be pimped. And so what happens is a dude will be like, well, I'm gonna throw all my resources at her because let's do it. It's a long-term stun flash, but it creates fatigue. And so with the single moms, remember, they can just jump over and go, well, I'll try again here. The issue though is and this doesn't get brought up a lot. Why do women believe in karma except for when it's stuff they do? Because I've been thinking about this for years. Because like the women who be like, oh, I'm a good woman, blah, 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 blah. Then you find out the kid was never the dude's. Like it'd be like 25 years went by, he need a kidney now, and he don't even got someone to get a kidney from because she lied.
Damn.
Like, so it's like, are you good? What is good? So like you know, and this isn't like a thing where it's like, you know, I'm not saying this to be rude. I'm saying this because we grew up in the 90s. You remember Maury. It was a new episode of Maury every day for 10 years, and they was never the dad.
Oh my God, that was
10,
never bad.
10 years.
Never bad.
10 years of episodes where he's never the dad.
Well, he only chose the people that he knew wasn't the dad for the show.
Even still, he had that many options.
He had, yeah.
Yeah, and so like, you know, that's drastic. You know, men want women they can trust.
Yeah.
Y'all want men you can trust, but that's really just what y'all say out loud. I got this book. Hold on.
Over here,
All the dudes out there, get this book, My Secret Garden. This book tells you all the stuff women really have fantasies about. Which, by the way, you'd be surprised how many rapes and burglaries and people beating up her husband and having sex with her in front of her spouse, and how many things they like that ruin long-term relationships are in here. But this
Who's
shit.
the author? Who's the author?
The author is Nancy Friday. So this is what they really be thinking.
What's her last name?
Friday.
How you spell that?
Like Friday.
Oh, like Friday, the day of the week. I thought you said Friday. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Nancy Friday. So in this whole book, it's like it covers everything. It's mostly fantasies where women are just doing God knows what. And I mean like the type of stuff where it's like as a man, you would never want your wife to think these things, but you need to know your wife thinks these things all the time.
Mm. We need one for women. What's
We
the one that talk about what the men thinking about that we don't?
we straight up tell y'all just don't care. Like it's a big thing.
You telling us right here today? I'm like, what the hell? But
We
the
be
men like, yeah, he right, he right.
But remember, women ignore 9 out of 10 of us. What information do you expect to get if you ignore 90% of information?
Well, I feel like the other 10% is just louder.
They're not.
They are.
They aren't.
They
Women
are.
attention has your attention. So, especially like in our community, the women prefer the more effeminate men. And the reason is because you can do whatever you want with them. Masculine men got rules. You ain't gonna walk in my house and command anything. You know what I'm saying? But it's like with a feminine man, you could walk into a pigsty. He's not gonna make you clean up. You don't gotta cook. He'll just order some lemon pepper wet and pay for it with a scam card. So that so the stakes are super low till you get pregnant. And my rule has always been this. Whoever leads off with fun has to live a serious life because fun always becomes serious and it's not fun no more.
Mm.
Yeah, because like we was just having fun. Well, okay, cool. So you was talking to a club promoter and now you're 1 of 6. You know what I'm saying? It's like and the options are always, they don't have to be that. Like I said, it's like it's this thing. Women with their mate selection, they choose to stand in line. So that
Mm.
already messes up their mate selection. I know this sounds crazy. I would not, as a person who's good at percentages, I would never want to deal with a woman who has options. Because like you want 100% of me for 33%?
When
No.
you say you won't deal with a woman that has options, what do you mean by that? You talking about a woman who is dating other men?
Yeah, why? Yeah. Why are you dating other men? If you want a husband, how you starting off looking for a husband with 5 niggas? How does that sound like it works?
It's part of the interview. You don't, when you interviewing people for a job, you don't just hire the first person that applies.
Uh, Believe it or not, the entire 60s was like that, and people retired from those jobs. So that's not true. What it is y'all are, like I said, you get stun flashed. You go, ooh, shiny, ooh, shiny, ooh, shiny, ooh, shiny. And the one who God usually sends is not shiny at all. But
Okay, I can respect that.
yeah, God tends to send you something that looks like either a really terrible fixer upper or too boring to be worth it. And the truth is, boring is a good thing in relationships because it means it's not chaotic.
You don't interview 5 people at once.
Bingo. Yeah. It's not for a 1-person job. Like, they're like, thank you. Like, most people don't see it like that because they be like, well, I'm just doing me. But doing me, my dad put this best. Whenever someone says I'm doing me, just substitute that sentence with I'm fucking up. Nah, because whenever something like I'm doing, what is it usually? They usually
Well,
fuck.
I look at it like, until you're in a committed relationship and you're just getting to know folks, as long as sex is not involved. Because men are doing it too. Like y'all not, oh, I met this woman, I'm locked in, I'm just
I,
everybody else, I don't
I
see any other
explain.
women, you can't see me, I don't see you.
Time out.
No.
Time out. You're talking about the options you picked before. And remember, you picked out the options of the dudes who was already entertaining other options. The average man, remember, if 9 out of 10 men are getting ignored, does that man actually have another option? No.
We probably just assume they do. We probably just assume they. You're right. We don't know.
If 9 out of 10 men are getting ignored, and you pay him attention. Now, here's the crazy thing, though. Once a woman starts paying a man attention, because women use groupthink for mate selection, all the women in the area now see him as a viable prospect, but that still don't mean they'll try anything. You know, with men, once I see a girl with a dude, I'll be like, no thanks. And once I see a wedding ring, I'll be like, the bigger the ring, the crazier the nigga. No thanks. You know, so it's like with women, they be like, oh, I'll just break up that marriage because he had a nice house. Which, that's another thing too. Women don't respect other women. Like, if women respected other women,
you, ho.
yeah, like if women respected other women, relationships would go way smoother. Cause like I've been thinking about that for a while too. Like, that should be crazy. A girl will divorce her husband and then be a side piece to someone else in a marriage and not see the irony.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes, we do. It's coming to a screeching halt. And the thing and the thing is, we should be okay with it. And that's why I was like,
We should be okay with it.
well, yeah, you can't stop the end. It's the end.
Women are built for monogamy and men are built to spread the seed.
Okay, so
here's a whole nother conversation.
No, that's actually this same conversation. The truth to it is, men are also made for monogamy. Women are built for monogamy and men are built to spread the seed.
Okay, you said men are made for monogamy.
Yeah, but men are also made for monogamy. That's why you only have one penis. I know it sounds like a weird way to look at it, but if we were really made for multiple partners at all times, we'd have more than one penis. So, yes and no. Like, I mean, you know, as far as women being built for monogamy, yeah, but what we should really think about with how women are built is, are they okay with their intended purpose? Because like I've been thinking about this for a while. I have a phrase. A handgun is a terrible toothbrush. So you should only use things for what their intended purpose is. So you have to ask yourself, well, what do women think their intended purpose is? And are they willing to even do it? Because if your intended purpose is to be a helpmate to a man, yeah, you might not go on as many solo adventures. You won't live a life of entertainment, but it will be fulfilling. It'll be a life with purpose and meaning and value, and you'll see it over time. You literally will get to grow a person that's a grown person into something you like. Because the truth is, your first ministry is home. How you talk to the person you with, that's everything. Y'all can speak. I'll put it to you like this. And we need to study this woman hands down. Michelle Obama. I don't know what type of pussy she's sitting on to make a black man president. I don't know what she was. Know what she was saying. Everyone needs to know. Everyone needs to know. Like, save our culture, bro. Like, and I've been thinking about this shit for years. Cause it's like, what did she do that took a herb ass kind of mixed black dude with no real swag and turned him into a president? What is she saying to him? What did she tell this man that no other black woman has said so far? And I know that's like a weird way to look at it, but
I agree. I agree.
Come on, like, she on to some shit, like, and she needs to be studied. Like, I mean, like Smithsonian style. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like black women specifically, that is our nature. That is like, it is our nature to actually help create greatness in our men, like to like inspire it, grow it, nurture it. Like, that's what we are built for. That is our purpose, to nurture our men to greatness. I feel like black men don't respect that enough. Cause like, again, like, why are we debating about who pays what?
Oh.
If every black woman has that Michelle Obama mentality, and that could take you to the level to be the first black president, why wouldn't you value that over who paying for what? Whether or not I gotta take her out to eat, or I gotta do this, or I gotta do that. Like, what sacrifices are y'all willing to make to get you a Michelle Obama?
Our entire life is a sacrifice. There's almost no black dude in America doing what he wants to do. Not a single one. And it's not because of survival. It's not because of anything lower. It's the rule of God. It's the curse of man. Men must suffer to make the world into something. That's just it. We don't have an out to that. And yes, Black women are wired to do that for their man. The problem is they pick the wrong man. Historically speaking, remember, drunk plus birth control equals bad choices. So
Okay, but when are we going to start holding the men accountable? Like that, you're absolutely right. But why are there so many bad men?
there aren't that many.
When are y'all gonna get together? Like, you know what, man? Enough of that shit.
There
This
aren't
is
that
how
many,
we need to carry ourselves from now on.
again, there aren't that many bad men. You ignore 9 out of 10 of us. The one man y'all are all fighting for it was bad, and we told y'all he was bad, and y'all just be like, "I want him anyway." And so everything that happens afterwards is your own fault. The thing is, the warnings happen. Multiple people be like, "No," and I've never seen a woman where it wasn't multiple people like, "Hey, leave him alone." It'll be a mom. It'll be a dude they know. It'll be a girl they know. It'll be other people around them like, "Hey, look, you can do better." But people want to do what they want. And the worst part is in our culture, people want to be right more than get what God has for them or their best. And so in the case of what we usually see is women will double down on stupid. They're like, I don't care. I don't care if this is his third felony. We gonna make it. Can't get an apartment in his name. Can't get a car. You know what I'm saying? Face covered in tattoos like a doodle bear. And she's gonna lock into this bad decision because she already made it. There are
There's
so
too many.
gener-
I agree. You speaking in general. And I don't know these women. I don't know these
Wait,
women.
hold on. Let's take it out of generalizations for a moment. Outside of generalizations, we can say definitively 9 out of 10 men aren't seen by women. The dating apps have proved that. So
9 out of 10 men are not seen by women.
yeah, I want you to think about how many janitors, male men, you've just never looked in the face. The number's stupid high. And so, like I said, when women are like, well, I why are all men bad? It's like, no, you pick the same dudes. It's several men out. If you knew the types of things that men prayed for women, because like I said, the world is suffering for men. Men be going through it, and God help you if they suffering for a woman. It'd be worse. They want Bobby Brown until he turns into Bobby Brown. No, they want Chris Brown until he turns into Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, hey, look, if y'all in abusive relationships out there, just don't go back for the rematch. Or if you go back, train first. Let me see.
People change for me. All y'all think you so special. We are.
Okay, so where's my map? I literally drew something about this. Okay, so exceptionalism is a trap. And exceptionalism is what fails most women too. Women think they're exceptions to rules they don't know.
Mm.
And you can't be an exception to a rule you don't know, mostly because no one's an exception to rules. Like God is rigid. And so the rule of exceptionalism is like this. You laugh at somebody else who fucked up and you go, ha ha, that'll never be me. And that sets the trap.
Mm.
Then at some point you're in a similar situation and either drugs or something will cause a lapse of judgment. And next thing you know, you're in the exceptionalism trap. You thought you were going to get away with something they didn't. So like for me, this is where exceptionalism fails me because I was like, I know I'm not exceptional. It is better to prove that you are great than to think you are great. So I started looking at it like, okay, well, there's men that's way more broke than me that have women. Like when I was homeless, it was a homeless dude with a wife, and I never seen a more devoted spouse in my life.
Mm.
On the end of that, you got Jeff Bezos with billions, and his bitch choosing Leonardo DiCaprio on a boat. So it's like, how can? So it's like if the dude with everything can't get it right, and the dude with nothing kinda has it right, I'm not an exception to anything because someone smarter than me fell for dumb shit. Someone dumber than me fell for dumb shit. None of us are special. Thinking you're special is dangerous. It'll cost you years. It'll cost you good years. It is better to prove you are something of value. It is better to know concrete. That's why I was like accomplishment over happiness. Because you can take someone's happiness, you can't take their accomplishment. You just can't. Yeah. No, like 6 figures or handsome with potential are dumb choices. Well, I don't know. I've never been a woman who qualifies for a handsome man with six figures. But what I do know is if that's the limit to what you're looking at, you're missing out on the breadth of humanity. And we all can stand to learn from each other if we're not just thinking about money.
He said short dudes don't even get looked at until they jump in the way with their hands up.
No, this big facts. They determined on the dating apps that women weren't even looking for men under 6'5". And then
Damn, 6'5"?
yeah, then some of the dating apps, one of them, women weren't looking for men under 7 foot, so they had to remove the 7 foot option. They had to just remove
7 feet? Oh hell nah.
Y'all don't know what's going through on this side. I only talk to the ones y'all like. So thank you for talking to one y'all don't like, so y'all can hear some truth. You know,
But you know what? Like, yeah, so a friend of mine told me, he was like, you need to actually get on a dating app, like as a man, like, you know what I'm saying? Use a man's profile so I can see. Cause I'm still like blown away that like women are behaving this way, or like,
it's
I don't know.
it's because women. Okay, so I was talking to my brother about this. It is easy in this version of the world to be a man of God because you don't have the option to be tempted. There's no, like I said, I'm not tempted to spend $700 at the club for her to sneak and get in somebody else's car when they about to do last call. That offers me nothing. But for a woman, I can get this, I can get that, I can get my bills paid, I can get my student loans paid, I can go on a wild adventure, I could have a whirlwind romance. The entire world is temptation for y'all.
Mm.
And the thing is, we be like, the women we care about, we don't want to lose the temptation. We really don't care what happens to most women. But in all fairness, neither do women.
Mm.
Because if they did, it wouldn't be an option. You know, but that's why I was like, women need to practice respect for each other too, because that'll make a lot of this easier. And stop giving younger women bad advice. I've never seen anything like it. Like an older man would be like, hey, look, wait till you know who you are to get married. An older woman would be like, don't marry nobody, fuck it. It's like that's not what, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and we shouldn't give each other advice out of pain or hurt. I think we should learn and press forward. You know?
Yeah, we share our experiences, and that's grow. That's what smart love is all about. But you know what, Breaks? Like I could talk to you all day. Like we don't agree on a lot of things, but I respect
Agree.
your opinion, and I feel like you think the way a lot of men. I appreciate the insight from men, like because oftentimes most men don't share about certain things or how they think. Um, like you were even leery. You was like, well, you can I say what like what are the limits?
Oh no, I already knew. Like even on the playback of this video, it's gonna be some bullshit. Like you need to stop this in the snippets. Like I'm just letting you know. Like
yeah. No, we definitely gonna have some snippets. But no, but like I appreciate hearing like honest truth, you know what I'm saying, how you feel. Like and it sounds to me like you study, like you're not just, speaking like just half-heartedly, like you read books and shit. Like I know like you because you do these comics. Tell us about your
oh,
comic.
I just got my first draft. Oh,
Okay, tell us about your comics and where we can find them. So Brace does these
so this is my comic. This is my
oh
comic.
shoot. It's on the back?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go full Gucci.
Oh sick. Okay.
Yeah, this is just my first draft, but Amazon just printed it. I'm gonna start having these joints out by like August. Boom, unanimous. Tales of the end of the world.
Wow.
See?
Wow.
And where the president gets in a fight and he kicks I'm guessing this is where this is where the president kicks the vice president Gucci and wins the election. Whole book is crazy. So yeah, unanimous. It should be out by I'm shooting for August 1st, but it'll probably be later.
Okay. Oh, that is dope. Okay, so yeah, I gotta have you back on and talk about the comic and like because like so the thing is like tell us because what you told me about your comics and is that you're telling truth and you're putting it in a comic book, an illustration. but like you're like predicting the future. Like describe your comic books and like
Okay,
your style and what you're
40,
talking about.
we're on a 49-year loop. We're always on a 49-year loop. It's just something weird about how life works. It has something to do with how God set up a holiday called Jubilees. But it used to be designed so every 50th year you would forgive all the debt of people who owed you money or something like that. And so we stopped practicing those. But the issue is we would go through what's called like a cataclysm or like a regularly scheduled apocalypse, right? So in this modern version of the world, thank you very much. It was hell on earth and I went crazy. I actually wound up it was a lot, but we'll get to that later. But so what happens is I realized in our version of the world, we go through an apocalypse every 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens if the government didn't fix the last one? And so I wrote about what happens if there's one problem the government doesn't fix and then the next thing happens subsequently. So in
Okay.
this book, it starts off all the heroes become racist and then the city gets blown up. So then the second chapter, sex dolls become a widely available thing, but someone teaches them the concept of consent. So they start killing people left and right. And then the third chapter is a alien hospital. I'm sorry, a human hospital where the top floor is a restaurant, but they actually eat your sickness. So you actually become better because they're eating you. So it's like, do you fight it or do you just let it rock? Then
Wow.
like the fifth chapter is about a black superhero that gets sued by the government. So he's not allowed to practice being a hero anymore. And
Wow.
so then all these things, they keep adding up to other issues. We're going to see an event here very soon that and we saw something similar to it with the power outage they had. I mean the tech outage with Microsoft.
Yes, that shit was crazy.
So you know how they're trying to do like the Neuralink thing where they're trying to unite people's brains.
Heard of it? Yeah.
So there's three basic problems to that. Any human brain is equally stupid. I know that's like a weird way to look at it, but there would never be a baseline human mind that other humans should be like. That's not Christ. And since we don't know how to put Christ on a computer, we're probably gonna mess it up real bad. Thing number two, they will be able to broadcast dreams to us very shortly, assuming they're not doing it already.
Broadcast dreams to us.
Yes. So you have a wireless router in your house?
Yes.
Okay, so your wireless router, did you know they can use imaging software to tell how many people are in your house walking around just by how the signal bounces off the router?
Wow. Okay. You mean like how many people are connected to the Wi-Fi from the?
No, they can see people walking around and doing things in the house. Like if they know how to use an imager, they can
Wow.
tell who's in there, who's doing what. Some of the other appliances we have now that are linking to the internet, they're doing other stuff to gather information on you and all this other thing. But what's going to wind up happening is they're going to figure out how to unite human minds, and then there's going to be an outage of that system.
Mm.
And just the subsequent chaos of that. Whew. Yeah, it's not going to be hard to put an antichrist government in place. It's actually going to happen real quick because humans are going to get tired of being stupid. But
Wow.
check the book out. It's crazy. That's not
Wow.
a book. That's just a fair warning. But
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So let's bring you back on. Right. Yeah. Right before. Well, when the book comes out, and let's talk about the book and some of the concepts in it. But thank you so much. This was a great conversation. Like
thank
you
you.
got folks locked in. They're like, wait, what? Wait, what did he say? Yes, I appreciate that.
Just hey, look, for the comments, hey, look, I'm not a misogynist. Truth is, I believe that there is a version of love out there for all of us that we can live with and grow in, but we can't do it without Christ, and I can't do it without you.
Mm,
So we got to get there. We'll get there. We'll all get there. But
wow.
it's going to be work, and it's a lot of work, but it's
Yes,
worth doing.
it is. It is. Thank you, Praise. Okay, don't hang up. I want you to hang on. I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody. Thanks everyone for joining. This was a great conversation with Brace. We talked a little bit about my topic. I don't know. He had me all, and I was like, wait,
We was
wait. hold on, we gotta talk about. Wait, stop. What? But I hope that you learned something. I know I did. I always learn from these conversations. Um, and we're just going to continue to have them. And I feel like that's how we grow. That's how we use our experiences to teach the next generation the right things and not tell them the wrong things. Like, shit, if we have already been through some shit and we have learned a lesson, like, let's pass it on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's not live in generalizations. Let's not let media control how we think and control our experiences. Like, no, we're more powerful than that. That's why they're trying to control us. But thank y'all. Happy Sunday. Enjoy. Bye till next week. And okay.